Right now, outside, it's like big chaos because of a storm. So it's like super loud out here.
My critique partner actually just mentioned that as well. She said she was editing her book and then she was like, "Oh, but it's really difficult right now because everything's like creaking and rickety."
Yeah.
I'm like wondering if my sister's going through the same thing. So
probably.
Yeah.
The entire
probably, right?
Yeah.
Nederland is just like right now.
Yeah. Everything is just like all the trees are swaying like way like
I remember storms sometimes like happened when I was living in the Netherlands, but the worst storm I ever experienced was when I was like 15 living in America. We were living in San Jacinto and there was a sandstorm that came in. Ooh. And it was just so scary because you could just hear the sand hitting the house. It was like a windstorm on fire. You know what I mean? Like it just was rapid and it sounded like it was going to tear through the house. So that was the scariest one I'd ever experienced.
Wow.
But anyways, shall we do the introduction?
Yes, let's do it. Hi.
Okay.
Oh. I'm Liz.
And I'm River. And you're listening to The Book Fairies.
Okay, I just wanted to mention one thing real quick. Because last episode you said that you got married and I was an asshole and I got like through that. But you got married.
Okay. Yeah, I was almost about to flip the camera off, but I am now married. I am taken officially in the eyes of the government.
You're officially
I've been given away. Isn't it weird? Isn't it like marriage is such a fucking weird thing? Like back in the day, men, like dads would just like trade horses for their daughter. I need some cows and some chickens. If you give me 4 chickens and 2 cows, then you can have my whole ass daughter just to have as yours. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, like seems like a fair trade to me.
Yeah, like
thanks for the cows,
get rid of her.
Yeah. Bye, Isabel. See you never.
The dad's like, I'm actually getting the better end of this deal. They're like, thank you. She's married and I've got cows.
Amen.
Amen. So I've been married for about a month and some days now. But you've been married for like a long ass time. You and your boo.
Definitely a lot longer than a month and a few days. I don't know. Awesome. It's been a while. It's good though.
Marriage is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you grow together, which is nice. So yeah,
I agree.
Yes.
All right. Should we hop into bookish shit?
Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. We thought it would be nice to do a book tag today, which we haven't really done. So that could be nice.
I'm excited for it.
Me too.
Yeah. Before we jump in, do you want to share anything that you've read lately, or do you just want to do the tags right away?
Oh, sure, but it's not really interesting because I'm still reading Find Me by Andrea Akima.
Oh. Yeah.
I am at the second part now, though, which is indeed about Elio. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, good. I know you've, again, been like very focused on painting, and I kind of jumped into the painting arena too.
Yeah, you've been painting awesome shit. I gotta put them on the screen now. So.
Let me put them in, but before this, let me finish Vera.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just got a book 2 days ago or something. It's called We Hunt the Flames. We Hunt the Flame, and it's by, I'm gonna butcher her name, Hafs Faisal. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if I butchered her name. I'm really bad at pronouncing. But oh my god, I am already so in love with this book. Like the characters, I'm not even like 4 chapters in because I just started it last night. But I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed. I don't want to give too much away, but the characters are amazing, and I can already tell the love story is gonna like rip my heart out. So I'm ready for it.
Awesome. I'm curious. Okay. I did find an audiobook for it, so I also started it.
Yes! Oh my god, and then we can talk about
it. The excitement.
It's so intense.
It's like I'm at chapter 3, I think. You too?
So yeah, so you already listened to 2 chapters?
Yeah.
So the main character's name is like Altair or something, right?
Yeah, and the horse has got a really strange name
Cute
as well.
Name. Sukka, but I think it means sweet. I have never had to do this in a book before, like literally never. And a lot of it is because I'm like ignorant to like, you know, Muslim culture, but I had to like look up a ton of like words in the first 2 chapters. I was like, what is this? What is that? What is this? Like at one point she talks about how the horse Sukka like acts like he's about to get eaten by this thing called an attire or something, or a tear. It was like this mythical creature that's like huge in the Muslim culture. So I don't know, I was like, I would never have known about that and if I hadn't looked it up.
I just thought it was fantasy talk, because you know that every fantasy book has this different world, so I just thought it was that stuff, but that's interesting.
I love like learning about different cultures, and like the coolest thing about this book is that it's like a lot of the actual culture ingrained with like fantasy elements. So yeah, I'm really thoroughly enjoying it.
Thoroughly.
Okay. You answer first and I'll answer after.
Okay, so the first question is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Which my answer to is that I generally don't really like them. Well, it depends, you know, because in shows and stuff, it's we're talking about books. If it's at the end of a chapter, it's cool because then you're like, oh shit, let me read the other chapter, and then you finish the book faster. But if it's at the end, I don't know, it's okay. But then
sorry to interrupt you, but I was actually I just figured out my ending to the book for my book last night because I've been going through like, well, maybe I can do this and maybe I can do that.
Can you tell me off camera, or
I'll tell you. Well, no, you can, like the first book, not the ending of the series though.
Yeah, no.
I won't give that away. No, just the first book. But for writers, just advice that I learned last night from some amazing writers in a group that I am a part of. Usually, you want to make sure that you wrap up any loose ends of the first book plot. So if you have like an overriding theme or plot, that needs to be taken care of within the first book. You want to wrap that up.
Oh, and then there's a new problem that occurs like at the end.
Yeah. So that way you feel a sense of resolve.
Yeah.
For the issues in the first book. All the main plot has been taken care of. Mm-hmm. You wrapped it up with a nice bow. And then what you can do is after that you can allude to a different something, and then the next book will start. And I think that's a more appropriate way to, and in terms of what people have been saying to me, is a better solution for a cliffhanger.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that kind of sums up my answer too.
Okay. Two flies in one stone, or 2 birds in one stone.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next question is hardback. Hardback or paperback?
Dun, dun, dun. For me, it's definitely paperback. I mean, hardback looks really cool, but paperback just makes it very easy to read because you can like fold it really, really easily.
Yeah.
And I also think there's something about books being previously loved, or that look like they have been read.
They've been through the ringer.
Yeah, like there's like good having read or beaten up, but yeah, it's definitely like if you've seen that they've been read, then I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, I totally understand though. I get you. Like just secondhand books have like there's like an aesthetically pleasing look to them because they've been loved, like what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Although when I have them myself, I'm just very wary of them. Very
like you want to keep
treasury.
Them really...
Yeah, like with the spines and stuff, I'm just like folding them not very much because I just want to keep
like
them
reading like this.
Like, yeah.
You barely open it to read the pages. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I do that though because I'm just worried I'm murdering them too much. But then I get secondhand books and they are like completely shredded. So I think
and you're like, yes, I will take this, please, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I like both. I don't have like this book that I'm reading. I got in paperback, but it's because I couldn't find the hardcover. I'll be honest. Anyway, because if it was there, I would have, and it would, and I would have bought it right away. Because like I just have an affinity for like hardcovers because I know that they'll stay in that condition for longer.
Yeah,
and I just love the way that hardcovers look. I don't know, it's my aesthetically pleasing thing like that makes me feel good. I'm like, I own the hardcover. You know, and it was
don't
like,
talk to me
like...
unless you've got hardcovers too, otherwise you're dead to me.
Exactly.
Understandable.
Okay.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay,
that was my answer. That was my answer.
Okay, so what's your favorite book?
It was really hard to think about this. Just like another question that's going to come up, but I think my favorite book is the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind, because it was like the first book that I really fell in love with, and they have like my favorite characters, and like it was the first series that I really like followed along. And there's a lot of books. There's like 7 or 8, and then he has some other books that are about other
in the same world, but then about other people in the world.
Yeah, it's like standalones. So he wrote a couple of those, and I read those as well. So yeah, definitely. Terry Goodkind, Sword of Truth. Yeah,
I think that one person that wrote Heartstopper did that as well, because she has loads of other books which is in the same universe as Heartstopper. And I just think that's very cool, because you sort of know the world already, and then you just follow along another person, which is kind of a little bit what happens in my favorite book of all time, which is Stravaganza of fucking course. It's just such an awesome series, and I read it as a teenager, but I think I read the first one like 3 times or something like that. It's just such a good... It's just beautiful.
I haven't read it yet, but I have it. I have the first book in my room.
I saw that you got it, and I'm just so excited for you to read it, because the first one is definitely the coolest.
I would recommend Sword of Truth to people, but it's like a lot of pages, and it's like it's a lot. So I probably wouldn't recommend it to you.
I'm gonna grab the Stravaganza. Let's see how much pages.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna look up, because I don't know if I have the first book. I think I lent it out.
It's got 329 pages, so that's okay, I think.
Okay.
Also, the cover just never gets old. It's like so glittery and stuff.
Okay, I'm looking up right now. The Sword of Truth. I'm trying to find how many pages are
Look
in
at that
the Sword of Truth.
The glitter. Oh, rainbows.
Oh, okay. So the first book of, because I just said that I lent it out. The first book is 836
Holy fuck.
pages long, and it's in the style of writing is very like, it's very small. So yeah, like that.
Wait, what do you mean with the writing's very small? Do you mean the letters?
Like, yeah, like the font. Sorry, the font is.
I was how is writing
kind of like this? Sorry, I know my wording is terrible sometimes.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, the font size is like a lot smaller. But yeah.
In this book, there's also like illustration. Wow, the wind is going off. Like little illustrations at the beginning of the chapters, which is awesome. It's just getting worse and worse outside, so
it's okay. Actually, can I say something really quickly about the book I'm reading that I love?
Yeah, of course.
This is something that like I adore in books, when especially fantasy books, when they have maps and stuff, and like the whole time I'm reading, I'm like going back like, oh, that's there.
Oh, that's there. Yeah. This one has it too.
See, I just think it really paints a picture for the reader.
Yes, definitely.
Of like how you're visualizing things. So that's definitely something I'm going to do in my book. But yeah.
With your art.
I don't know if I'm going to do it in my art style, just because I probably need to hire a professional map maker.
Oh, but it's fantasy. So how professional does the map has to be?
Oh yeah,
you can,
I think it's just,
you know how you draw people like directions to the grocery shop. You can just do that, but then fancy.
I'll try it, but if it doesn't look good, I'll end up probably just hiring someone else. The next question is your least favorite book.
I'm not really sure, because there's two that came to mind, and they're both like awful for different reasons. The first one is The Secret Next Door. I don't remember who it was by because I didn't write it down. But it's basically lots of gossip, and it was supposed to be a thriller, which I didn't really feel like it was. It was just lots of housewives, gossiping about each other in this neighborhood. Yeah. And I was just not really vibing with that.
You're not in. Yeah.
No.
That makes sense.
And then the other one was like this heavy horror book, which I was curious about to read, something like that. And then they were doing lots of violence against a person of color. And then the ending was like really frustrating as well against that one person. So I was just like, yeah, no, that's a no from me.
And I totally feel it. This was another hard question because I typically don't like to especially publicly, I don't want to drag any
that too.
authors. One book that stood out to me that is I just didn't vibe with, I really tried because it's so hyped, was The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. I love V.E. Schwab. She writes amazingly. I have read other books by her and they were really, really good. However, this book just didn't. I don't know. There was a lot of, her prose, her writing style is incredible. And so I liked it for that reason, but I didn't specifically, I thought the love interest dynamic was really toxic. And so therefore I just didn't like that. And then another book I really disliked. I don't remember the name of it and I don't remember the author, but I just remember it being about a paranormal person that could she was kind of like a medium, but the writing style and the way the dialogue was written, I couldn't read it. I'm all for accents, I'm all for that, but when it comes to a point where it's only that and every word sounds like something, I don't know, it just feels like too much. So I was just I can't.
Yeah.
I tried.
Some books are just not it. Some people can really like it and others don't. That's why there's so many books. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question.
Let's do it. Love triangles. Yes or no? You go.
I
yes
will.
Or no?
I would say yes, but only because I think if it's done well, then it's okay. Mm-hmm. But you want it to be healthier. Hold on, what did I say exactly?
Yeah, it's gotta be healthy, and typically there's a lot of jealousy involved.
Yeah, I think in life, love triangles happen. People get crushes on the same people all the time, but I don't think, for example, the Hunger Games, the love triangle with the Hunger Games, where two boys were in love with Katniss.
Peeta and Twilight and
what
else? So many.
Yeah, and I just feel like it can be really toxic, and like the jealousy aspect. And I just feel like if we're writers and we're writing to a specific crowd, like why not, utilize our platform and write about healthy dynamics, so that way, they can learn about healthy dynamics.
Exactly, and respect and that kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about you? Like, how do you feel about it?
Reading about it, I'm fine. Like, I don't really gravitate toward books like that. Like, for one example, the Crimson Accord series. That was one thing of the book that really annoyed me, because I think there was a love triangle at one point, and the jealousy was just fucking annoying to read. They're just like, what are you doing with that dude? Why the hell are you? And that's just like, let her fucking be.
Yeah, like that toxic
open,
masculinity.
Have conversations about it and stuff.
Yeah, like they have ownership over a said character. It's like,
yeah, well, they're not even together, and then he's just like, you can't talk to anybody.
I would have been like, peace, motherfucker.
Okay, bye. Some characters in books deserve the finger. Just saying.
Yeah. And on the flip side,
if there's
a love triangle,
sorry.
Well, that's a term, right?
Yeah, I know, right? But I was talking about like giving the finger, flipping off, flipping.
Oh!
But
that is my autistic ass just.
Oh wait, the picture, the joke, you. Oh no, wait, you, the joke.
Insert meme. So like I was saying, and you kind of say, you said it in yours, like they never end up with the three of them. And that's something that I've actually never read either. And I think there are a lot of polyamorous relationships out there. And why not turn it into a healthy dynamic where these three characters end up like just being, comfortable and open with each other and learning that? Because there's that whole aspect of learning healthy boundaries, learning about healthy relationships. And that would be a perfect way to do it. Like, it's not for everybody, but if your audience, can accept like different, I'm trying to find the words.
I think you mean that
diverse romance in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's really a book about it, or I just haven't found it. And I'm curious to see a book like that, because
you need to write it.
I don't know how to write romance, let alone have like three people be in it. I wouldn't know how to start. Because I had this book idea, or like a bigger story idea, but I took the romance out of it because I was just like, nah, I don't know how I should do this. Let's just focus on Friends, because I really love Friends and Found Family and stuff. So I think I would vibe a lot more to write that stuff.
I think that is something that people need to read more of too. Like, just, it doesn't always have to turn into a romance. It could just be friendship, or it could just be like a partnership, or it could just be, like a brother-sister feeling between the two. Yeah, exactly. I think that
it doesn't always have to end up with them fucking.
Exactly. Unfortunately, in my book, it does. But there's also a lot of like just genuine friendships among them. And there's also a love triangle, but it's resolved in a very healthy manner, in which all the characters are just kind of fine, and like they're still friends. And I think it's a vibe. It's a vibe, guys.
DM. Nice.
Okay.
I love that though. It's nice to not have it end up bad, and them just being okay with it and just accepting and respecting each other and stuff. That's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So
cool.
All right, so the next one is... Hold on, let me...
Next question.
A book you're currently reading. We already said which one we were reading.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. That was why I was gonna skip it.
Oh. I love this book.
Oh, you can go.
I'm so excited about
it. You can go talk about it again. If you want.
Okay. No, I don't want to spoil
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, the next one. Last book you recommended to someone.
For me, that was Escaping Infinity, which I recommended to our peeps in the book Discord, which you should check out. And also, I'm really bad because I haven't made a book of the month, like a body read for like 2 months, which is really bad, and I'm sorry.
We should think about it. I mean, obviously you'll choose it, but we should do that again. So what is Escaping Infinity about? It's
basically the only sci-fi book that I've ever read, I think. But it's a really cool book. It's about these two colleagues who take a sort of another road because one of them is like, oh, let's take the shortcut. Which we call the toeristische route, maar I don't know what it's called in English.
Oh, like the scenic route.
Yeah, exactly. They find this hotel, which they're like, oh, sweet, we can sleep here. And once they're inside, they find strange things, like how high up the building is. There's like way too many stories for the hotel there to be there, and there's also guests that seem out of time. Like they seem to have time traveled or something, which is strange for them. And then they find that it's like super hard, if not impossible, to escape from it. So... Oh, no. Or no.
My heart is already beating. Because those are they're in a hotel, right?
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of TV shows, like the American Horror Story one with the hotel.
That season is the best.
It's Lady Gaga, man.
That does not help that she's in there.
No.
And also vampires. I mean, do you need to say more?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, there's just everything. It's that season is the best. Sorry, I'm trying. Like this keeps.
Oh no, don't worry. It's okay. Is it Is it tired? Like the things?
It might be. Oh, you know what? There we go. Just tighten it. There we go. Okay, now it's sick. Now it's good.
What's it for you?
Oh shit, I forgot.
I know. I have it here. The last book River recommended to someone is The Savior's Champion to everyone, which is like no surprise at all because they're talking about it all the time. I know the entire book without having read it. No, I'm kidding. I have started reading it. I'm just not like I'm just not continuing it, which is stupid of me.
Sometimes people just don't vibe with the same stuff that I do, or like you just can't get into it, or some other book looks more intriguing. But yeah, I just love The Savior's Champion. But this book might be my next recommendation to like everyone because I'm already obsessed.
You heard it fuck. You heard it here first. I was gonna be all cool and stuff, and then I fucked up. Oh.
That's like that is like our entire like personalities. Like we're trying to be cool, but like we're awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
It's even more difficult for you because this is your second language. Like it doesn't come as naturally as like speaking Dutch. So
no, it gets a bit difficult to like yeah. Well, we've been over this, and yeah. Let's just move on to the next question.
Do you want to read?
Okay, what's the oldest book you've ever read?
Probably The Picture of Dorian Gray, because I don't know. I don't really like gravitate towards really, really old
the classics.
Yeah, like I'm sure I've read more, but I don't know. Like sometimes like the writing style is just so boring.
Oh,
like,
dude, it's so boring.
What?
I understand. It's like such a different kind of speaking and just the writing is so different. And I'm just so curious how they talk back then. I'm probably like how they write in the books, right? Because that's how it is now. Yeah. So it's just so Porsche all the time. Like,
I know.
I'm feeling
dreadful. I have such a dreadful tummy ache.
I've been feeling I don't even so know melancholic. Melancholic.
Yeah. Well, they talked like that though. They really did. Like,
I do
can't
apologize.
Think of anything right now. But,
exactly.
There's this podcast I listen to, and sometimes they do like they read this thing. I forget what book it is, but it's like mannerisms or like customs that they used back in the day. So, for example, there's a whole rule about like whether or not you're supposed to take off, like when you're supposed to take off your glove as a man. And like when you're about to introduce yourself to a woman, like, please pardon my glove.
Do they say that?
Gosh. Yeah, they say, please pardon my glove. It's really cute. Anyways,
I was distracted by the wind. Sorry.
I know that sounded super loud. You haven't told us which one's yours.
Oh yeah, I googled it really fast because I wasn't sure if Carmilla or Frankenstein was older, but it's Frankenstein, so that's the book for me that was oldest, because I did read Carmilla, Dorian and Frankenstein last year in 21, because I was like, okay, I gotta know the classics. Buying books or borrowing books?
I actually hate borrowing books from people because I hate it.
No.
Yeah, I mean unless it's someone that I'm in contact with like all the time, like I see them on a weekly basis, I don't know, I just don't want to borrow their books because like
you don't know what's happened.
I still and like the other thing is like I forget, so I still have books that I've borrowed like from years ago. And also, I like being able to own books. So buying books for sure. That's my answer. Okay.
Well, I really like borrowing, like you said, from people that you know. I really like borrowing out books, like lending them to people.
Lending them.
Yeah, because it's really nice to, if they've read it and if they like it, then you can talk about them about it, and then it's like this lovely conversation starter. That's just really nice. And I've borrowed loads of books too, like from school and from people and stuff. So yeah, I don't mind borrowing. I like it because like people are like, oh, you would enjoy this book, and I really like that thought as well. But buying books, definitely. I really like having books as well.
Yeah. I don't know about lending books out. Like, I love lending books out, but same with borrowing. Like, I sometimes never get them back. Like, I lent out a bunch of like drawing books to this person that I went to school with, and literally never got them back. Like hundreds of dollars worth of books.
Oh.
Yeah, like, and really good ones. Like, oh my God, just like the most amazing books, and like now they're gone. And I lent out The Savior's Champion to my friend Gracie. I don't know if she listens to this podcast, but she still has it, and I doubt she's read it. I doubt it. I doubt she even looked at the first page. So, I actually did lend that out to Andrew's mom though, and she loved it. And then I also lent her the second book. So
awesome.
I mean, it has worked.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. A book you can always reread.
I think like a good book to reread for me, like that I actually have reread, is A Certain Slant of Light by Laura Whitcomb, and it's just like this really cute like ghost story, love story, and I adore it, and it's a quick read. So
I have that book, I just haven't read it yet, but I'm definitely planning to read it, so we can talk about that one then too.
Yeah.
For me, it's definitely Stravaganza, City of Masks. So this one, because it's just
so pretty.
It's just
so pretty.
Oh, it's beautiful, and also the inside, like the story is beautiful. Should I say a little bit about what it's about? I don't know if I have done that, but I have talked about it so much. I feel like it's basically about this dude called Lucian, I think. Lucien. Lucian, yes, thank you. He lives in London and he is very sick. And then his dad finds a notebook he can write in, and then he falls asleep and wakes up in this crazy parallel world. It's basically Venice in Italy, but then it's the parallel world. So it's called Bellezza Italia. And it's really cool because it's basically in the 16th or the 17th century. So they don't have phones and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And, there's like little differences. Because over here, I don't know, is gold more valuable than silver here? I think so.
Yeah,
and over there, silver is more valuable than gold. So like there's these little differences, and he doesn't have a shadow there because he's sort of like travels there, but in the world in London he's sleeping, so he looks like he's in a coma of some sorts if he doesn't like go to sleep in the parallel world and go back. Yeah, it's just really cool. And he meets this girl there, and he's like, of all days that he goes to Bellezza, this one day he's not supposed to be there, he is there. So there's some little like difficulties and that happens, and there's this one sort of magician person, and he's really cool, and there's secret passageways and stuff. So it's just definitely stuff that's really, really cool and exciting. So
I love like how excited we get about books. It's so cute.
I don't know what it's called, but it's definitely
I do this when I get excited, and I also do it when I eat, like if I'm enjoying my food. So anyways, who is your favorite author?
That was for me pretty hard question, because normally I just read books like randomly, and I don't really go to the author's profiles to see if they have different books. But the author of Extravaganza again is Mary Hoffman, but it's translated to Dutch, so I wouldn't know if the actual writer is okay. And also Casey McQuiston, because all the books that she's read or written are really cool. So, and she's coming out with another book this year, so I'm really excited about that one. Okay, what's yours?
I said it was a hard question, but actually, like, I think my overall favorite writer has to be Terry Goodkind, just because I fell in love with the way he writes. That's like sort of what I grew up with, and you know, he's passed away, and
oh, sorry, that was like the most unrespectful rip ever.
No, it's okay. He's a legend in like the fantasy community. So, but yeah. Anyways, on to the next. Can you read?
Next question. Can you read? No, I can't.
We're in such a giggly mood today. When are we not though when we're on this podcast? Okay, so can you read? Can you read while listening to music?
Yes. But for me, it's both. I can read without and I can read with. It depends on moods, I think. Sometimes you focus on what people are saying in the songs, what they're singing. But other times it just flies right past me.
I could not like listen to music with lyrics. If it's just regular music, like where they're singing, like I can't do it because it just messes me up, and then I have to keep rereading. So I actually like to listen to like ambient music. Like sometimes, you know, depending on the vibe of the book, I'll just sit and I'll listen to like, you know, dude. Like dark academia. Yeah.
Like the Puff, you're sitting in a library and this mysterious these mysterious friends steal books or something. You're in the Victorian era and you're a past lover. Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
YouTube is crazy. It's so funny. It's like, you're a fae living in the woods, and a stranger approaches. He's riding a horse. Like, it's like the scene. Anyways.
Exactly. It's so funny.
What,
Okay.
Oh,
that reminded me.
Let's.
Sorry, I recently watched Shrek 3, which is fucking legendary.
I love all of the Shrek movies so much.
So beautiful. But it was this one where Shrek's dreaming, and then Donkey wakes up with his baby face, and he's Dada.
Donkey, wake up!
Dada. I think this is a good question. What is your favorite genre?
I think my favorite is thriller, because that's just really I really love the plot twists and stuff, and I also really like the contemporary stuff, especially LGBTQ stuff, like One Last Stop, also Call Me by Your Name, of course, and then other shit. I don't know, and I don't know what's actually, is it fantasy or no?
I think that one kind of falls into the fantasy category.
I'm not very much a fan of fantasy because you have to learn all these worlds and magic things and stuff, so it's basically like this whole lesson you have to learn first before you read a book.
Yeah, I think my favorite kinds of fantasy are the ones where like it's an easy like read, and like if there is new things, that it's like not a fucking like info dump situation. I think my favorite genre is probably also like anything LGBTQ plus, just because I love the diversity of that. But my overall favorite kind of book genre is dark fantasy, or like anything paranormal.
Yes, paranormal is good. What's your favorite trope?
My absolute favorite trope is found family.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Same. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I think like it's just so awesome to see a character meet others, and like even if they're not compatible right away, or actually it's kind of cute when there's a little bit of friction at first, because I think that like watching them kind of grow as friends and then like as a group, I just like that. I love seeing like how they kind of fall into a friendship, and then it becomes like they're like so loyal to each other, or yeah,
it's just like thick as thieves. That's kind of what I want to focus on too on my story.
Yeah, I think found family is a huge part of my book. It's actually like the fundamental part of my book. Nice. But what about you? What's your favorite trope?
Also found family. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, all right. We're so similar.
Wow.
Oh, we should have people answer that in the comments. Like, you can answer any of them, like any of the questions, but if you only want to answer one, like, what is your favorite trope in a book?
Yeah, for the last question.
Last one.
What are some of your favorite characters? Or favorite type of characters?
I think for me, like, I always end up really enjoying either like villains. I really like villains, like a lot. In the Terry Goodkind's book, there was this dreamwalker that was a villain, and he could like torture you in your dreams, and I was like, that's fucking crazy. And he was also just the way he was evil was really cool. That, and then I also really like funny characters. Like, I like the comic relief.
Yes.
Because in a book that has a lot of tension, you need that character to add a little bit of a lightheartedness in your story, and they kind of keep you grounded, so that way it's not all just like evil and I heard it in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what about you? What kind of characters do you gravitate towards?
Yeah, I was thinking normally it's the comic relief people that I really enjoy. Like with the Scott Pilgrim books, I really like Wallace, because he's just very like he has this air about him which says fuck this shit, I'm out. Basically.
I was gonna ask a question, and now I was gonna say something. I think I was gonna say, like, with writers, like, they have so much more room to just do whatever they want with side characters, because they're not set in they're not set in their ways as much as a main character is. So you can kind of like you can break rules with them. So they cannot give a fuck about a situation, but the main character has to, at least to a point, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't have a story. And I think like one thing that the funny, like lighthearted characters can provide is a way for like the reader to like they can comment on stuff that the reader is thinking, and it's really funny when that happens. Like they'll voice what you're thinking, and I think that's a way to like kind of like break the third wall without really breaking the third wall.
It's like when people on shows like look into the camera.
Yeah, and they acknowledge the people watching. I hate
right. That. It's so annoying when they're like, no, now you've included me in the show. Stop it.
Oh, and hot girls, like badass hot girls. I'm into those too.
Cool hot girls with cool hair who do cool things.
I was talking to Andrew the other day, and I was telling him like what my favorite kind of characters are, and he's like, yeah, my favorite kind of character is a character who has crazy awesome hair, lots of tattoos, and rides a motorcycle. I was about to say motorcycle, but yeah, I know it was like specific. Yeah. I was like, he's such a supportive person though. I love him.
We know exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully I'll have the painting of Vera done before this comes out. So.
Yes, I'm so curious to see that. I'm so excited. She is like such a cool character, and I'm very curious to see. Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see like how I'm gonna do it. But that wraps up our last question. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly had a fun time like answering the questions. Yeah, this was a fun one.
Yeah, this was super fun. I really enjoyed it. We should do another tag some other time, like after we get some regular videos out. But for the listeners and the watchers, sounds weird. And the watchers, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Spotify. Can you tell the people where to find us?
Yeah, you can find us here on YouTube and on Spotify, like River said, and we have Twitter, which is Book Fairy Spot, and Instagram is the Book Fairy Spot. Oh, and we have a Gmail, which is thebookfairyspot@gmail.com. That's it. Alright, guys, thanks so much for listening. We hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.